next step.
Wonderful. To check your progress and decide whether you need to go to the next step. Mashojera Anna, please unmute and talk to me quickly. Mashojera Anna, please unmute and talk to us quickly.
Okay, thank you. After collecting the data, I will analyze the data to make generalizations that will help me to make the future decisions.
Exactly. So you could make generalizations. You could see a trend that is occurring, and that trend, makes you take a decision on some, general approach you're going to adopt. Thank you very much. Edwin, please unmute and talk to me. Edwin Nyamkondiwa. Edwin Nyamkondiwa, unmute your microphone and talk to us. Your hand is up.
Thank you. Monitoring helps me take corrective action wherever possible and give compliments wherever possible.
I like that. Yeah, it helps you to positively reinforce where things are being done right. It gives you an opportunity to take corrective action where it is required. Thank you very much. So I think at this point, let me just ask you to do something really personal, particularly the school leaders here present. I would like you to write, given what we have so far, I know we have not yet finished the topic, we are just about halfway through, but given what we have discussed so far, can you identify in your school a small change you can make that could bring you big results in terms of how you are conducting your monitoring and evaluation? Can you identify? I'll give you 1 minute to write down silently in your own notebook or in your iPhone or iPad or your laptop, just one point where you say, you know what, whilst it's still fresh in my mind, I think I could do this in my school to enhance the process of monitoring and evaluating. So I've set my timer for 1 minute. I'll be quiet for that minute so that I don't disturb your thinking. Hello, please go ahead.
Sorry?
Yeah, go ahead. You said hello. I assumed you want to talk. Go ahead. All right, bit of a communication breakdown there. Okay, 5 seconds is left. All right, your 1 minute is ended. So please show me by raising your hand if you managed to write something, just one sentence about something you're going to do in your school, especially for the school leaders here present. I just want to see how many hands go up. If you manage to write something that you're saying, there's this one thing that I believe I could actually do in my school, or I would like to do, or I am going to do in my school. Just raise your hand, not your physical hand, obviously. Ha ha ha. I'm seeing only 2 hands up. Only Gertrude and Eve Gwalawa actually wrote something. Oh, hang on now. Why am I not seeing everybody's hand? So Gertrude, Eve, Thorpe, Fungai Chempera. Okay, anybody else whose hand is up that I'm not seeing? Munyaradzi, Bruno Sara. Okay, yes. And who is this? Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's a whole lot of hands here. Yeah, 5, 6. So Chamuka Tevedzerai, Vare Winai, Chapera Fungai, Chirume, okay, Kumberai Mepo, Chipondozia, Modi Chonzi, Marawatsanga Edmo. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Please lower down your hands. No need to keep the hands raised. Right. Moving on. How do you monitor teaching and learning? So we want to briefly look at the strategies that can be used to monitor the quality of teaching and the quality of learning. Right, so what I'm going to do, right, I will read out a shopping list, a list of possible strategies. And when I read it out, I want you to listen and then choose the method that you personally feel is closest to your heart. Maybe it's because it's the one you excel in, or it's the one that your school does well in, or it's the one that you feel your school would benefit the most from. So I want you to choose out of the methods or the strategies that I'm going to read out. Choose one that you would say, for you, this is the one that is closest to your heart, or this is the one that you would prioritize above others. Are you ready? Shall I read them out? I take it that's a yes. So here they are. Number one, observing lessons, looking at teaching and learning in real time. Number two, discussion with focus groups of students. Number three, interviewing students, finding out what they know and can do. Number four, scrutiny of workbooks, a detailed look at books to gather data about student progress. Number five, book look, looking at students' books to get a picture of their learning. Number six, analysis of data, review of test results. Number seven, questionnaires. Questionnaires for stakeholders such as parents, teachers, and students. Number eight, learning walks, planned walks around the school and classroom. Number nine, planning documentation, review at both individual and curriculum level. Number 10, reports from heads of departments. Right. Number 11, observing meetings and professional development. Number 12, highlighting the importance of lesson observation. Number 13, emphasize. Okay, no, I ended number 12. Sorry. The others are not the points. So the last point was observing meetings and professional development. Okay, so out of those 11, which one would you say is closest to your heart or resonates with you the most? Just type a number in the chat. It'll be interesting to just take this quick survey to see which of those resonates the most with the highest number of people. Oh, Eve type 1, 4, 5, and 6. Eve, you are fast. You typed before I even asked the question. So Eve spoke about observing lessons, scrutiny of workbooks, 5, which is book look, and 6, which is analysis of data. But I want only one. Okay, Chapera Fungai says number 1. Gertrude Ndlovu says number 3. Joylene says lesson observation. Now there is a person who really likes to type. I asked for a number, she typed the whole word. Number one from the rest. Analysis of data and observing. That's Thorpe. Another person who loves to type. Mrs. Kufa says 5. Kumirai says 6. Mildred said 1. Mtengwede Kuzakwasha says 1, 3, 5, and 9. Okay, just wouldn't settle for 1. Rosemary says 1. Chiedza says 6, and Chamuka Teredzerai says 12. Fanuel says 1. So listen, thanks for the typing. You don't need to continue typing for now. You can stop typing. But here's what I want to do. I will read that list again. I'm going to read out the shopping list. But this time, I want you to write down the 3 that you believe are needed the most urgently, in your school. So write down the 3. You're not writing numbers, you're not writing in the chat, you're writing in your notebook for yourself, for follow-up action, right? So I'm reading the list again. Number 1, observing lessons, looking at teaching and learning in real time. Number 2, discussion with focus groups of students. Number 3, interviewing students, finding out what they know and can do. Number 4, scrutiny of workbooks, a detailed look at books to gather data about student progress. Number 5, book look, looking at students' books to get a picture of their learning. Number 6, analysis of data, review of test results. Number 7, questionnaires for stakeholders such as teachers, parents, and students. Number 8, learning walks, planned walks around the school and classrooms. Number 9, planning documentation, review at both individual and curriculum level. Number 10, reports from heads of departments. And number 11, observing meetings and professional development. So there you are. Which 3 have you written down that you're saying, hey, most definitely these 3 I will carry out when I get back to school? I would like one person who hasn't raised their hand since this session spoken. I would like one person to raise their hand and share with us their 3. Only one person, and that person should be someone so far since this session started who did not raise their hand and spoke. Rosemary Chigondo. Rosemary, unmute your microphone.
1.
Oh, okay. You're giving me the numbers. Okay. So 1, and which are the 2? I said you need to choose 3. So 1 is observing lessons. Yes, Rosemary, the second one?
3 and 6.
The exercise is very exciting, but I was very afraid to write down the names because when you look at the lists that you have given, number 1 to 11, you will find that all those strategies, if they are put into use interchangeably, you will definitely get the best results out of it. So if you look at the answer that I wrote, I said it all used situationally.
Wow. So Mnyaradzi, let me ask you a question, Mnyaradzi. Are you married?
Yes. Yes.
How many wives do you have?
I have 1.
You have 1 only? But tell you what, when you were out hunting, there were many, and there were many, but you had to focus on 1 and say, no, this is the one that suits me the most. So with this, with these 11 strategies, I'm saying you need to start from somewhere. Because if you start by doing everything, it's like trying to boil the ocean. You spread yourself so thin that at the end of the day, you will have performed poorly in all of them. So as much as they are all important, looking at your particular circumstance in your institutions, which ones do you think would probably be, I would say, a combination of 2 things. 1, there will be low-hanging fruit. In other words, you can start with them and you've got a reasonably high probability of achieving great success. And 2, they'll actually make an impact. Because you know what happens? If you start with something that wins, people get what's called momentum. They've got this energy to carry on to the next one. So it's a question of prioritizing. In the same way that, you chose Mrs. Vurino Sara, and I'm sure she was like the best out of the lot. Choose the one that is the most appropriate. Right. The 3 that are the most appropriate to start with. We're not saying ignore the others, but start by focusing on
all the activities. Because in any institution, you'll find that we have some people who are even expertise in doing some of the work. So if you delegate and then move on and then try to monitor and evaluate the delegates, surely you will win. Okay, I would look at.
All right. I think for now, let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that. But I like the points. Very interesting. And yes, in life there are people like that. Just as they are polygamists, there are people who can, just run with everything at the same time. But most people achieve better results